Swirling, swirling, and live like that. All right. Hello, Idiots on Parade, the Too Ugly for TV podcast. We mock the news so you don't have to. My name is Nathan Timmel. I am a stand-up comedian in Iowa City. With me, as always, is Jake Vevra, stand-up comedian in New York City. Hello, Jake.
How's it going?
Well, I'm quite angry right now. It's funny that whenever we hook up on this system, you can't hear me at first, so I have to refresh and jump out, and then you can hear me. And I know I can't touch anything because it disconnects the microphone. I'm frustrated because of TikTok. The good thing about YouTube is on StreamYard or when we would go live on YouTube, you get to build everything behind the scenes. There's Jake, there's Nathan. Can you hear me? Okay, we're good. Go live. Whereas TikTok, I look at these step-by-step instructions to go live, and it says, go live, then invite your guest. So it's like it's this stupid, why would they want you to be live before? And so I invited you to be a guest, and yet you showed up as a viewer, and like that's not what you're a viewer. I want you as a guest. So basically my point is, TikTok sucks. We want to go live on TikTok because there are kids out there, and the kids are into old dudes talking about the news. That's what kids are into. But yeah, we still haven't figured out the TikTok thing because every instruction says do this, do this. I did when I hit invite a co-host, it gave me a list of people I had never heard of. I'm like, what? And there was no search function. There wasn't anything that said search for so I can type in Jake. It was like, why don't you be a guest with this person you don't know? I'm like, Jesus fuck, TikTok. Could you suck any worse? But
all of you must know that this caused a weird situation to where my can of Monster Energy and my water that I had spilled all over me. Yes. Trying to fumble with the phones. So I am as angry as Timmel, if not more, because I'm
for different reasons.
Two different liquids that aren't my own urine or alcohol. So I'm very upset about that. Just know that I blame your pro Taiwan rhetoric that you've been spouting on this podcast for TikTok. Now, let me just clarify. Just like John Cena in the WWE when he
apologized.
Yes, when he learned full Mandarin and apologized for his terrible mistake. Jake, 50% of the Idiots on Parade podcast apologize for Timmel's awful mistake. I do not recognize Taiwan as a country. I view that entire island as basically the Staten Island to China. You know what I mean? Like, that's little Beijing as far as I'm concerned.
Actually, first of all, Rich, hello. Ultra, thank you for the belated anniversary. Is also the anniversary is also my daughter's birthday. We had an anniversary baby.
Oh, nice!
So, yesterday was
and happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm gonna forget this, but Lydia told me yesterday when it was the actual anniversary that it was our 16th. So yesterday was our 16th anniversary.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you that Taiwan is little Beijing. How much do you know about Taiwan?
Not a ton. I know they're not happy about kind of being part of China, and China is like, fuck you, Taiwan, you're part of us. And it's kind of a point of contention between the United States and
right. Okay, so here I'm going to sum this up.
Also, weirdly enough, General Tso's chicken was invented on the island of Taiwan, the country of Taiwan.
So this is going to be a very brief, incomplete overview. And I learned this a little while ago. I never knew. I grew up my entire life not knowing a goddamn thing about Taiwan. And then when I learned, I'm like, oh shit, China's kind of right. So I'm just going to use an example. The Civil War happens in America.
Dude, we're legit going pro one China on this podcast.
We are.
Here we go.
I'm going pro. Okay.
Our TikTok numbers are going to shoot through the fucking roof. Oh, I wish we had that thing going.
Once we figure out TikTok. So
can you save the one China stuff for the next episode, or we doing it now?
We're doing it now just because I'll forget. Right. So I'm going to use the United States as an example. Take the Civil War. The North wins the Civil War. Now, instead of imagine if a bunch of Confederates after the Civil War went down to the Florida Keys and took over one island in the Florida Keys and said, all right, we lost, but fuck you, this is our island now. And the United States kind of went, yeah, okay, you live there, but you're still with us. That's basically Taiwan. They lost the Red Revolution. They went to a little island. Everybody that lost that side of the conflict went, and then just decided like, okay, now we're our own thing, even though they never were before. Like, imagine just one of the Florida Keys going, it was a secession. So China kind of, like, for as much as we like to pretend they don't, like the government tries to recognize Taiwan, it's kind of part of China. They just sort of took an island, and Taiwan is to China what Ukraine is to Russia.
Confederacy, just all quietly, leaving out that whole thing that rhymes with wavelry that they did. With, like, what do you know? Taiwan is its own little spot. I feel like. When it comes
Ultra has it right here. Taiwan is to China what Ukraine is to Russia, except Russia invaded Ukraine back in the day, created the Soviet Union. And so Ukraine was Ukraine or whatever it was. Soviet Union comes in, invades, takes over. Soviet Union breaks up, and now Russia wants it back. Taiwan was always a part of China. It's not like it was something different and then flip-flop back and forth. Taiwan is to China is not a true statement, because Ukraine was Ukraine, became part of the Soviet Union.
Here's the thing. With that whole Civil War thing they had, I feel like the Taiwanese were being more than fucking generous. They were like, you'll have the entire mainland China. We will compromise and take this fucking island. Like we ain't even close. You can't even swim that. That's like 7 Alcatrazes away from you guys, man. Like this is our shit. That's your shit.
And this would be, to use my example, imagine the South had won and Taiwan is kind of like the North, because they wanted the pro-democracy and they wanted, maybe I'm going too far there. But yeah, imagine if the good guys lost and got exiled to an island that they took over. You're right. They did you get the entire country. We'll take this one little island. But that's the dispute.
Your weird thing with sort of subtly implying that Taiwan was dragging people from another continent and making them grow tobacco is crazy.
Yeah, no.
They weren't doing that at all. They were like, let us just have a slightly different version of dumpling soup. And China was like, no, fuck you. And they came at him hard.
Sophie and Ken is right. Taiwan is true Chinese culture. The CCP is working to rewrite. We are trying to rewrite Chinese culture. Trying to rewrite Chinese culture. Yes, that is true.
Here's the thing.
The caveat is, though, they lost.
Chinese people in China are way less offended by your racist Asian voice than they are by me insisting that Taiwan is a country. They got their eyes on the prize over there.
I did it accidentally and then did it on purpose, because I tried to say working to See, I just did it again.
Yes, and I respect
working
that.
to rewrite. I keep doing it. Working to rewrite. It's hard. That's a tongue twister. So when I say
China
it quick,
still loves you. Chairman Xi still loves you and hates me. Chairman Xi, I will never say anything racist about you. I will never say anything about the shape of your eyes. Timmel will, but he will insist that Taiwan, that entire island, is new Shanghai or whatever you're claiming. And honestly, he's probably right in that. That will get our TikTok numbers up. So maybe I'm wrong.
I'm about to drop our TikTok numbers, because I will also say the one thing he hates, that he looks like Winnie the Pooh. And I didn't he ban Winnie the Pooh there because he got tired of getting compared to him?
He did, and South Park did an amazing couple episodes about that.
Yes.
Randy goes and strangles Winnie the Pooh to
but Sophie and Ken is correct. That is the true Chinese culture. However, historically, spoils go to the victor. I mean, right or wrong, when you win a war, you get to rewrite and take over, and you're kind of in charge. So, yeah, I'm not saying I like it or agree with it, but I understand the point. I understand where China's coming from.
I like this. Timmel has a very manifest destiny, pro Netanyahu, pro Chairman Xi, pro Putin kind of stance. And, I'm trying to be in the middle here.
And I'm wearing a nice. I'm wearing
Timmel and the dictators have some good points, and then freedom and democracy have some good points. I'm a moderate.
And I'm wearing my Canadian shirt today, the shirt I got in Canada. So they're a nice neutral country.
Yeah, but it says War of 1812. It's a very old shirt. He stands with the British on that one.
All right. Well, shall we get into some news, my friend?
Yeah, I didn't think that China would take us 10 minutes in, but here we go.
Yeah. Oh, Jake, we have talked about this in the past, and it's finally over. This really is the way. Gina Carano pile drives Disney over Mandalorian filing with settlement and job offers. We said it a long time ago. It's the stupidest thing in the world. She had her Twitter bio, and instead of saying she, her, hers, it said beep, boop, bop. And they took that as anti-trans, fired her. Maybe she said something that but either way.
I was going to say, it's mostly she was going on podcasts.
But the long and the short of it is, as you and I have said, if you want to fire someone, just say, you know what? We don't need your character next season. That's it. Disney deserved to lose because they were stupid. They had to get all high and mighty and like, we're going to take a stance on what's right and moral and woke, whatever it is. No, you can fire her. You can fire her for whatever reason you want. Just shut the fuck up about it. Just like, yeah, we don't need the character anymore. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird thing because it's like, well, you know, Disney's the one making the show, so if they don't like what she's saying, then whatever. Now, I thought they overreacted. I don't give a fuck what her pronouns in her bio are. I don't care what her right-wing stances are on anything. I thought Disney was stupid for doing it. That being said, I don't think that they're legally in the wrong for doing it. Just like if I don't know, let's say Ben Shapiro was producing a movie and some actor went on a tirade about how Trump's terrible and he's acting like a dictator. He's on the Epstein list. It's all stuff I would agree with, but if he wants to not have that actor on his movie, that's his sort of right. That's his freedom of speech to do whatever. I think if anything, this is kind of infringing on Disney's freedom of speech, even though I think they were stupid for firing her. I disagree with Disney for firing her, and I disagree with this settlement.
I agree with you on both points. Maybe I wasn't clear, and that's on me. I think it's funny. I think Disney should have shut up for the reason they fired her. But you're right. I mean, if they have an employee they don't want on set for some reason, that is their right. I just don't understand why any corporation has to make a big deal out of anything they do. Because it was obviously virtue signaling. Virtual signaling. Yes, it was artificial intelligence.
I get it if like a political commentator, like if Bill Maher says something you don't like, it's like, okay, well, that's kind of part of his thing.
Yeah.
But he's going, oh, I'm helping the Quaglar galaxy and the boopity doopity do. Like it doesn't tie into what she's doing.
And as I know I have said this, I watched season 1 of The Mandalorian. It was fine. You know, it didn't make me go, oh my God, Star Wars. You know, I didn't watch season 2 or 3 because I was done. I'm like, I watched it. If you have ever seen her in anything, she was in Deadpool. She is a block of wood. Fire her because she can't act. I'm not saying I'm a good actor. I know my limitations, but she would get on screen and she would look like, oh, I am supposed to look to the left now. Here, I deliver my line. Now she's a block of wood. Fire her for that. Say, yeah, you know what? You're not really that good. I mean, because, yeah, should she have won the settlement? I don't know. Probably not, but I kind of like that she did because Disney should shut the fuck up. Everyone should just shut the fuck up and do what they need to do. And
I disagree. I think she was good enough for the role. Look, we don't need Michael Corleone's wife in The Godfather 2 going, it was an abortion, Michael. Like she's just in the fucking bar with a do. She looks like a tough chick with broad shoulders. I fucking like that. I like that they got a female star who's not some dainty ooh, I'm an underwear model, but I'm also beating up all these men. She looks like I would be scared to take a fucking 1-2 from her. I would be scared of her jab overhand right. I'm not with most of these stars. They get to be like female action because they do like a half-ass thing where they're like, we're trying to do like a female empowerment, but they got to be this young, datey, tiny little thing that men want to fuck. It's like, no. That's not what female cops and firefighters look like. You know what I mean? That's not what, like, get an MMA check. Get Brock Lesnar's daughter to be the next Wonder Woman. That's what I'm saying. And that's what Gina Carano was.
I agree with you. I just think they could find one that can act. They don't need to find her. She's a block of wood. There is going to be someone out there that is everything you described and who can hit a mark without staring at her shoes and say a line that doesn't sound like it is rehearsed. And this is my line. Look out. He has a lightsaber. You know, you can have both. You can have both.
Send her to acting classes. I'm just saying, I like the way she looked in those, you know what I mean? Bras and stuff. She was good.
Yes. All right. Sophie and Ken, love you. Absolutely appreciate the fact that you show up every week and comment. I am going to disagree with you when he said Trump got Colbert. Well, he said that Trump got Colbert fired, and everything I have seen, the big thing is streaming. So because nobody watches regular television anymore, they broadcast it, but then it's how they get the YouTube views and the Paramount Plus and whatever. Colbert was not hitting those numbers. Everything I've read, like what was it? Last Week Tonight with John Oliver brings in something like, I can't remember the amount, but it was huge. It was several $100 million that
late
after it broadcast
with a bunch of other dudes. You know what I mean? Like, that's
I'm just saying that the knee jerk reaction was that Trump got Colbert fired, but the truth is it was about dollars and cents because John Oliver brings in streaming view. Even Bill Maher was bringing in streaming views on YouTube and other platforms. Colbert was number one in late night, but those advertising dollars didn't cover anything. So I think it might have something to do with the timing of it, the lawsuit. That said, I mean, there's a reason that Gutfeld is number one among all those guys. It's because his viewership is not being divided up between other sort of one conservative versus four. Yes. You got Seth Meyers, Kimmel.
That's what's going on there, man.
Fallon and yeah.
Right. So it's I think you're looking at sort of a mainstream platform that's losing viewership to the internet, which they all are, but it's also divided a bunch of ways. Whereas like Gutfeld's is divided one way, him. And many of his viewers, no offense to the conservatives, are older and too dumb to work the internet. So they're about a decade behind where.
And to steal from Kurt Cobain, they're also, I wish I was like you, easily amused. It's not quality, good programming. It's you know, to a degree, they all pander to their audience. It's just that
there's a lot of pandering going on the late night stuff too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just that some of them do it a little more cleverly than others.
But it's also like if there's four of them doing one thing and you're doing the other thing.
Yeah, you're going to get more. You're going to lock up the
hard and like I mean he's doing what he should be doing. Honestly, I don't agree with most of his takes. Certainly not, but he's in the market he should be in.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's only him versus four other late night, big late night dudes. At that point, just be kind of a breath of fresh air for conservatives. You don't even need to be that good.
You do not. Ultra said Disney killed Star Wars. I agree 95%. I will say this, and Jake, to you, I'm saying this as well. Watch Andor. Andor is intelligent. It's like Star Wars for adults. And my favorite thing about it is that what they seemed to do
No, I seen a Star Wars parody on Pornhub that's Star Wars for adults. But go on about Andor.
Well, this basically they wrote an intelligent story, both seasons, just about characters that are interesting and charismatic and good actors. And they sort of said, oh, and by the way, yeah, it's happening in Star Wars. So you don't even have to be a fan of Star Wars to like Andor. They tie it in because it fits in, but it's not beholden to Star Wars where everybody's carrying a lightsaber and, oh, the guards happen to be stormtroopers. It's just an intelligent, well-written drama that they, like with Die Hard 2, where they said, oh, we had this surprise movie that was a hit. We need a sequel. Let's just take a book that's already been written. We're going to change the character's name from Fred to John McClane. So that's how you keep it good, is you don't have to like
people don't
everything
realize,
else is
Die Hard 2 was actually a prequel to Lord of the Rings. They just switched out the Shire for an airport. It was a whole thing. I mean, you can you guys can unpack that in the comments if you want.
But other than Andor, Disney killed Star Wars, they killed Marvel. It literally became product with quality taking a distant tenth to
man, with the constant sequels and prequels and spin-offs and all that, I sort of feel like it's one of those dig through the dirt to get the diamond situations. So that's good to know. You know what I mean? Because I didn't like most of the movies that were the prequels and the sequels and blah, 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 blah. Like there was like 3 really good ones, and then most of everything else can fuck off. That's how I felt about the Star Wars movies, except for Rogue One. Rogue One was right up there with all the originals. I will fucking put it next to all the originals. It was amazing. The prequels suck shit. Jar Jar, oh, I'm a blue Jar Jar Binky. I didn't need that fucking guy. I think he should be drawn and quartered at Lucas Ranch. All that shit, all the episode, whatever the fuck came after Return of the Jedi sucked ass too. But Rogue One was amazing.
Jake?
Yeah.
The powers behind Rogue One, Tony Gilroy, made Andor. That's what's so good about it, is Gilroy. So that's what but I agree with you. But I'll go one further. You said there were 3 great movies. There are 2.5. Return of the Jedi is fine, even as a kid. I remember sitting back and going, the fuck are these little teddy bears? I never bought into the Ewoks. You could see Lucas flipping. So I don't understand how Star Wars has the legacy.
I don't give a shit. The Ewoks were such a small part of that movie. I don't give a fuck. Return of the Jedi still hits with me.
But so if you put it this way, you got Star Wars comes out of the great gate, fantastic. Empire, up a level. Jedi back
right up there with Godfather 2 in terms of like sequels. Like it's better than the first one. Yeah.
But then everything you said, then he starts remaking and puts out the special editions. Han shot first. It's shit. Then episode 1 comes out and you're like, this is fucking horrible. Episode 2, episode 3, garbage. Episode 7, you're like, okay, it started good. You know, you got Han, and then it fell apart by the end. It was a little nostalgia bait. Then 8 and 9, complete shit. And then I said The Mandalorian, fine. But yeah, it's saturation. I do not understand how Star Wars has such a legacy when it is literally 2 great movies, a good movie, and Rogue One. Other than that, it's been a lot of shit. And yet people treat it like
here's the thing. I had no expectations for Star Wars Episode 1, even when it came out, like as a kid in the 90s, because I had recently bought a VHS remastered in the highest 1990s VHS quality version of the original episodes, and they included interviews with George Lucas before the movie, and those were actually pretty interesting. Before episode, what was it? 4, A New Hope. The
first one is 4, A New Hope.
Yeah, and it's you go, well, it's weird. They started with episode 4. What kind of shit is this? He was explaining the whole process of him getting that movie made. He had written 9 of them. You know, 9. He sent all 9 to like 3 different major studios, and they told him to fucking kick sand. They were like, fuck this. We don't want this. This is ridiculous. We don't want. And so then he goes, I sent episodes 4 through 6 to Fox. And then he tried to spin it as like, oh, they had the genius, to give me an unlimited budget.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. They just didn't read that shitty Jar Jar Binks, like whatever the fuck 1 through 3 is. I tell you, the other 3 studios, they ain't reading 9 episodes of this. They were, do, and they ripped up the other fucking 8.5 episodes. Like they didn't read all of it. So it's like he deep down knew, this is my meat and potatoes. Here is 4 through 6. He sent those to a company and they were like, this is the shit. We're going to make it. And then it became like the cultural phenomenon that it
then
is.
Then they had to go back and make one.
Fucking trim the fat. He needed to trim the fat.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, as far as
that's all we're seeing now is fat. For
what you said about people reading and not reading the scripts, having lived in LA and worked in the movie industry, there is one absolute true fact that is there's when anyone gets a script, the first thing they do is turn to the last page to look at the number and see what they're getting into. And if it gets above 100, then they're like, maybe I won't read it. They want to see an 89 or a 90. They want to because they're fucking lazy. They literally they turn to the last page to see how much they have to read.
This motherfucker gave them 9 movies. He gave them 9 movies,
and they did not read that.
The first one started with Binks, and they were like, "Fuck you, dude. We're done." That's what happened with the first 3 studios he went with.
All right. Paul, I don't know. He said that Die Hard was supposed to be Commando 2 with Arnold. I don't think so because, like I said, it came from a book. If you look at the opening credits, it's like based on the book. So they literally
I did not know
needed. Yeah, they needed a script.
What the hell was the book? Was it an actual Die Hard book? Like what
No. It was just like they needed a sequel, so they just sort of grabbed something like Adventure at the Airport and just changed it so it was Die Hard 2. As a kid, I loved Jedi. As an adult, Revenge is better. Yeah, I can see that. Ewoks were supposed to be Chewbacca size. Yes, I've read that. Go watch the Christmas special. I don't remember it. I'm sure I saw it as a kid. Todd, I have a question.
Fucking rough, dude.
Is it better or worse? And that's subjective. Than
it is worse than whatever you're going to say.
Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. That I saw it as a kid on TV. You go back and watch that now, and you are like, how did they ever release that? How did they broadcast? How did they not look at this once it was not even just filming, but put together and go, yeah, we can never air this. Do you know all the stories? My favorite is this. Ace was so drunk that for certain scenes, they replaced him with his stunt double, who was a black man. And you can tell that it is like, that's not Ace Frehley. Sure. It's someone completely different. I mean, it is a horrible mess.
I mean, he's got black and white face paint. So all they had to do was switch up the colors on the paint and we're fine.
But Gene and Paul hated it so much they buried it until it became like sort of ironically good. But they knew they had. But yeah, so is it better or worse than Kiss Meets the Phantom? That's my question.
I don't know. I will do some research. I genuinely can't wait to tie one on tonight and watch Kiss Meets the Phantom.
It's insanely.
I've heard of it.
It is Roger Corman Fantastic Four bad. It is Roger Corman Fantastic Four bad. It is that bad. Paul has never seen episodes 1 through 3 or 7 through 9. You're not missing anything. You're really not.
Not.
I remember going to a midnight screening.
And then watch Rogue One. That's
Rogue One. Yeah.
It's fucking great.
I watched Rogue One after watching season 2 of Andor, and you just sit there and you go, this is what Star Wars could have been. It could have maintained this level of quality, but I absolutely say Andor is worth watching, but beyond that.
Well, because I like the other one too, man. What was the Mandalorian? I watched the first season of that. That was great.
It was fine. Remember, I just said I watched it, but when I never watched season 2 or 3, it didn't compel me to go, I can't wait for season 2. I was like, okay, I watched it. I'm not insulting it like it sucks, but it didn't compel me to keep going.
Well, it has sort of the opposite bar of like Star Wars Episode 1. You know what I mean? Where like everybody that wasn't a young Jake and didn't see George Lucas sort of admitting that the first episode sucked shit.
Yeah.
And so I had no expectation for it. Everybody else was like, oh, I'm expecting episodes 4 through 6, the original. Like, it's going to be that good, if nothing else better. I mean, he's got this unlimited budget, like whatever.
He's had all these years to prep. He had all these to get everything.
Yeah. And they were like, dude, this is awful. Like that's where their level of expectation was. My level of expectations when I saw Mandalorian, I was like, this is going to be hot garbage. I am only watching this out of respect to the original 3 movies, which is why I watch most of those goddamn things.
I remember, and if anyone can find this, let me know. I remember watching an interview with George Lucas when episode 1, I believe, was to come out, or maybe it was episode 2. I forget. But the whole point is, he talked about, all he could talk about was he had 3 or 4 actors in a ship or a place, and he's like, look what I can do now. If I don't like the way these 2 actors are, after I've filmed it, I can digitally move them so that they're on the other side. Like say, like maybe instead of worrying about where each actor that you can move digitally and write a fucking better movie. You should have spent all the time like he was so excited by the technology and the fucking cartoon he could put on the screen. Spend that time writing a goddamn script that's worth watching. I remember having that thought that he was the. We did not get a brutal storm last night. The storms cut off. I'm answering Paul. They cut off around Des Moines. I went to Des Moines on Thursday for the state fair, and then came back to take care of the puppy who was asleep on the floor. But yeah, the brutal storms got halfway across the state and then kept moving south. So where I am on the eastern side of Iowa, no storm, no rain in the past several days.
I will say the only good thing to come out of Star Wars Episode 1 through 3, I'll say, is the movie Fanboys. Did you ever see the movie Fanboys?
No. Is it anything like Triumph, the insult comic dog, going to the Star Wars line and making fun of everybody?
A little bit. Actually, yes. If you like that, you will love this fucking movie. It is a comedy about it takes place right before Star Wars Episode 1 is going to be released. It's a bunch of like diehard Star Wars fans. One of them realizes she's got some kind of stage 4 pancreatic cancer, like whatever. He's not going to get to see the release. So they're going across the country and fighting Star Wars nerds, Star Trek nerds. They hate them, apparently. Yeah. And it's a whole thing just to get their friend to Lucas Ranch so he can see the movie before he dies. It sounds like a bit of a bummer. It's actually like a comedy, but it all. I'm not going to spoil the end of it.
I was just going to ask for a spoiler. I was going to say, does he see the movie and go, "Fuck, I wish I had died first"?
I'm not ruining the end. I'm not ruining the end. It does lean into it a bit. It leans into the quality of the movie. You kind of forget about it. Honestly, it's such a kind of a good sort of like it's a feel good kind of thing that's also very funny throughout the whole thing. There's cameos, like it's a fun movie, and you kind of forget about just how bad Star Wars Episode 1 really is until literally the last line of the movie.
Where to watch YouTube Prime subscription? Nope, like don't have that. That's not what I clicked. I want to see where to watch Hulu Premium. I should be able to. I'm going to see if I can get it on Hulu on Hulu. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I wonder if the Phantom Menace is the same Phantom from the park. Now we're thinking what we need is a Phantom Menace, Phantom of the Park crossover where Kiss is in a Star Wars movie. Ultra, you are thinking George outside Lucas the box.
Before Gene Simmons, so that he can buy Star Wars and then just fucking make like Kiss sequels to Star Wars.
Oh, who knew we were going to go so nerd sideways? We spent 10 minutes. What were the first 10 minutes talking about? China. 10 minutes of pro-Chinese trying to win over the TikTok.
The end of every Kiss sequel is going to be Gene Simmons performing Cunnilingus on a blue lady.
Oh, I wonder what not Tawny Katane. Shannon Tweed. That's who he married. Shannon Tweed. I used to have her original Playboy.
There you go. It's going to be Gene Simmons banging Gina Carano. That's the end of every Star Wars movie from here on out.
There we go. All right. I don't feel like getting anything serious anymore now. It's been so much fun. I don't want to. I don't want to talk about how the current government's deleting key sections of the U.S. Constitution from the government website. Hey, we love the Constitution. I did find this amusing. I sent it to you. Oscar-winning actress Tilda Swinton has brought her unique brand of performance art to New York's Museum of Modern Art. Titled The Maybe, she will sleep inside a glass box for 7 hours a day. Remember what I sent you? I said, didn't fucking David Blaine already do this? And not just for 7 hours a day. David Blaine lived in a glass case for, I don't know, 7-8 days. Fucking hack modern art, Tilda.
Yeah.
I sent you another story. Oh, this story. I hope this is true. I sent you a TikTok. I searched and searched for like a legitimate news source. And the only news sources I could find were articles referencing the TikTok. French farmers use manure to deal with horde of travelers. Apparently in France, I didn't know what it was, a traveling road show or just squatters, or they just decided to camp and have a festival in this farmer's
But all
like
their
Woodstock.
shit matched. Like it's not gypsies, man. It's
not gypsies. It was
things matched. Like that's what was weird about it to me.
It was, and that's why I kept searching. But the video is of these people chasing around a tractor and yelling and banging on it because apparently they're camping on this farmer's field, and he just starts spraying manure, fertilizing. It's his right. But
here's the thing: you ever drove up on a farm?
It was to stop a rave. It's true, Sophie.
That's what you have to do to grow the goddamn crop anyway.
I lived in Oconomowoc. We were way out in the middle of hell, and the farmer fields were across the street from us, like literally a little row of houses. And my God, every fucking spring, the worst. I mean, you did not want to go outside for a week. Just that stuff is horrible. And so the fact that Sophie and Ken says it was a rave, it's true. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Like, oh, you're gonna set up shop? I'm spraying liquid shit everywhere.
But even then, I didn't think they were that hard on that. Like that's what you should expect when you go to a farm anyway. He wasn't even spraying the stuff that they were on, man. He should have gone right through the fucking middle of those. If again, this is what it claims to be. He should have drove.
Paul said he read an article. He went through the proper channels. What I don't understand is he went through the proper channels and he sprayed them with shit because of the proper channel. How do these people just get to park campers on someone's property and just like, here we are. Fuck you. I know it's your field, but we get to set up our campers.
I would have drove right through the middle of those fucking RVs, and I would have done like Biff and Back to the Future every single episode. Like I would have sprayed. They would have been going manure, like whatever the French word. They would have been there. I would have sprayed them right in the goddamn mouths.
Ooh, I got you. I agree with you. I'll do you one better. I used to have a Volkswagen Golf, and the rear window windshield wiper, the cleaner fluid thing was broken. So instead of spraying down and washing the windshield, it just shot out straight out the back. There was an arc, and whenever my buddy, we'd be going somewhere and he'd be behind me, I'd just spray his windshield. I would take the manure spreaders. They're typically aimed down, or just bend them so they're aimed up. Then you go turn by the camper, so it's just an arc. You just spray the liquid shit on them.
Dude, fuck that. I get such road rage in this city. I want to get manure sprayers for the back of my little Honda Fit. Because, all right, here's what fucking drives me nuts.
I had a Honda Fit.
People in front of me, like, it's normally like people driving slow and like, fuck them, like normal road rage shit. But like the people that pull up behind me that have the fucking brights on, even though they're in the goddamn city. Like it's not like, I get the thing to where like they're on the interstate. They don't like, they were driving through a spot that was dark. They didn't want to hit a deer. They still got them on. You're in fucking Queens. Ain't no deers in Queens. You're going to hit a homeless guy shitting himself with a t-shirt with a deer on it before you hit a fucking deer in Queens. What are you doing? Get your fucking brights off. So I want to spray those people with shit. I want to spray them with shit like that farmer did to those goddamn gypsies.
I wish I had. It happened to me Thursday night. I said I was in Des Moines, and I came home Thursday night. I'll tell this really quick. 4-lane highway, two lanes on either side. So I've got 2 lanes. I am in the left-hand lane. I am going a reasonable speed. If there are any law officers listening, I was not doing above 80 miles an hour. I would never do that. But you know how if there's someone on the shoulder, truck drivers and good people will pull into the left-hand lane to give the person on the shoulder space for safety?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
yeah.
I'm in the left-hand lane going fast. I see a truck in front of me that I'm about to pass put its blinker on, and I get a little angry. I'm like, what the fuck are you pulling into my lane for? And as I say that, I see in the distance someone on the shoulder. So I slow down. I'm like, oh, he's getting over for safety. I flash my lights like, hey, come on over. He comes over. I slow down. He pulls back into his lane. An 18-wheeler pulls behind me to get out of that lane and then just puts his brights on me, pulls right up on me, and just puts the brights on for like, I would say 45 seconds. It was not an accident. It was not a flash. It was like, and I'm like, motherfucker, did you not see me let that guy in? Yes, I slowed down. Yeah, I was so pissed. Like, get your fucking brights off me. There was someone on the shoulder. We're all getting over. Fuck, asshole. Yeah, brights pissed me off on Thursday.
Yeah. I there's got to be some way, and I honestly think that like most of them literally do. Now that was an intentional one, but I think most of them don't know they have.
They're just clueless. Yeah, they're just driving dumb.
Way, dude. I like 2 weeks ago, there was a fucking guy doing that like right on my street where I'm looking to. I'm trying to find a place to park. I'm not slowing down in front of him, but he just fucking pulls up and he's got him on. So I fucking pull over. And I just roll down my window and just scream at the motherfucker because I was screaming. I was turning anyway. I turn your fucking brights off. And like I'm waving my middle finger out the window, just wishing the motherfucker would stop so I could beat the shit out of him. But he didn't. He didn't.
I had the similar experience recently. I don't remember exactly. This is what I remember. The person in front of me was driving one of those cars. How was my driving? 1-800 whatever. And they did something so it pissed me off. I'm like, God damn it. So I took a picture with my phone. I'm like, I'm going to call that later. And then I got a chance to pass him. And it was this little old woman driving. And I'm like, I can't call her in. I can't be angry anymore. Although in retrospect, I should have called it in and just been polite. Like, hey, maybe you shouldn't let Nana drive your car because she's not all there. But I remember just going from like super road ragey angry, like, why the fuck did you do? Oh, it's just a grandma. I'm sorry. Hi. Yeah, you're not a good driver.
All right. Dude,
I felt so stupid in the moment that I was angry at the poor woman.
I think New York has turned me too bitter. I did scream in one of those people's faces. 2 months ago, me and my wife were booked on the same show, even though like we're watching the kids, like some bar shows will do like, oh, we'll book one of you on the front and one of you on the end. And then whoever goes to the beginning switches off with the like drives back and switches car, right?
7 p.m.,
so
10 p.m.
I'm driving, you know what I mean? And I'm driving back. There's this fucking minivan, and it's always minivans that drive slow and shitty. I hate minivans. So there's a minivan just sideways in this little side street that I'm driving on and just stopped, right? And I see it coming. I'm 2 blocks away. I'm like, surely it'll move by the time I get there. It'll move. And I pull up. You know what I mean? And like, there's almost enough room for me to get by. And I can really squeeze my car in between anything.
A Honda Fit is small. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm used to driving in tight places in this city. Like I don't have enough room. So I fucking honk and I pull up. I can see the lady. In the through her passenger window, it's rolled down. I'm like, hey, can you move forward just a couple inches? And she goes, I know fit. And I said, you fucking dumb bitch, learn how to drive, you know? And I drove fucking past her. Like it was like she did move finally a couple inches. I'm like, move a couple inches further. And I'm like, dude, why are you driving if you can't parallel park in this city? Like, what are you doing?
I'm going to take this conversation.
Like she was just doing it all slow. She was like sideways in the street blocking.
I've seen these videos. Have you seen the TikToks and the Instagrams and the shorts? People that try to parallel park and can't, like people shooting from their apartment, like, look at this person parking. So I'm going to take this conversation where it does not need to go. I do not need to bring up what I'm about to bring up, but I'm going to do it anyway. You have to take a driving test to get a license, and people still can't fucking drive. And yet we just sell guns to fucking anybody without background checks. Or it's like, we're so fucked. I mean, this is how stupid people are. They can't drive for shit, but they could buy a gun. This is America.
No, I'm for that. I wish this lady had a gun with a little candy flavored muzzle that she could suck on. Suck start that AR-15, lady. Do it.
One more story, and this one annoys me. No good deed goes unpunished. Why Teddy Bridgewater won't apologize for providing impermissible benefits to high school players. We always hear about back in the day before the most recent change where college students couldn't get paid. But Teddy Bridgewater got in trouble. Did they say he got fired by the end? I know he quit because he's got another shot at a pro team. It was very
non-specific on what he actually did.
Yeah, whether they both agreed he couldn't come back. But basically, even though he's never really been a big name quarterback, he's played the NFL, so he's got money. And he was a high school coach at Florida High Athletic Association. What he did was, I don't want to say I want to read his words, but when I decided to coach, those players became my sons, and I just wanted to protect them in the best way I can. Miami Northwestern is in a tough neighborhood, and sometimes things can happen when kids are walking home. So I wanted to protect them. They could take a ride home. So he provided Uber rides and food for these kids. He wasn't buying them like shoes or bribing like, hey, come to my high school and giving them cash. He was giving them the most basic, like, hey, you need to get to practice. It's dark. It's late. Let me get you home. You're struggling financially. Let's get you a meal. And of course, they come down on him for that.
Stop making excuses for him. The law is clear on this one, Timmel. You're not allowed to feed high school kids. What fucking part don't you understand?
What can I say? I'm pro-China and pro-Teddy Bridgewater. It's an interesting stance. Maybe we should just give Taiwan to Teddy Bridgewater. That's how I'm going to reconcile all my feelings.
School districts are supposed to be hungry all the time. I don't know. You bus 7 of them to a nice school district, and that's called equality.
I heard the best line ever. Do you know who Dave Barry is?
No.
He's a humorist. Not Dave Barry. He's a novelist. He wrote a syndicated article for years. I've read several of his books, but he was in an interview just talking about Florida because this took place in Florida. Someone brought up he lives in Florida. He goes, hey, Florida gets a bad rap, but I don't think it's fair. Florida has 23 million people in it, and I don't think you can judge 23 million people on the actions of 21 million people. And I thought that was a great line.
Yeah. No, I did hear that. It was pretty good.
Oh, Todd says that's one of the worst neighborhoods in the U.S. The good man, you live down there, Todd? But yeah, so he's just trying to do right by his students, and he gets in trouble for it.
That's right. Either way, dude, he feeds one kid one day. That kid's going to expect food every day, even after he leaves. What are they supposed to do? Just start feeding the kids? Fuck that.
You know, Miami's on the ocean. He should have taught him to fish. You teach that kid to fish, and he can go down to the beach every day and get his own fish. All right. Todd knows the area.
Give a quarterback a fish, and he'll win you a game. You teach a quarterback to fish, and he'll win you a championship. I believe in that.
All right. Maybe next week we'll figure out TikTok. Maybe not. But yeah, the step-by-step is bad. Until then, you'll have us on YouTube every week. And if we do figure out TikTok, everybody here, we're going to do both simultaneously. It's not like we're jumping ship from YouTube to TikTok. We're just trying to add to our audience and more people we can annoy and go, who the fuck are these guys? And not like us. And who are we? I'm Nathan Timmel. You can find everything me at nathantimmel.com. T-shirt store, links to Amazon bookstore, special on YouTube, Unapologetic. Over there on my right, my left, your right, Jake Vevera, Vevera. You put the @ in front of it, and you get all his social media, including his own YouTube page.
Do it, you old bastards who don't realize how @ work.
Unalive by Dog Pills. Go follow him on TikTok. We're still trying to figure out whether or not Jake can go live. He got the live thing, but if we figure it out, but either way,
we're doing next week.
Yeah, that's all we got this week. What a fun, like I had told Jake yesterday, I said, I don't really have many stories. So yesterday because I was busy all week, and I found the Gina Carano. I'm like, oh, we can talk about that. Who knew we would go off on this big Star Wars kiss China? Yeah, it just became fun because Sophie says TikTok sucks donkey balls. It really does. But when you're unknown assholes trying to get your name out there, you got to go where the kids are. So, all right, Rich, you have a good week too. IRRI, thanks, guys, and we're out of here.
Taiwan is the rogue one of countries in Southeast Asia. I don't give a fuck what Tim and John Cena have to say about it.